Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I just want to make a short video about the question, how? That's a pretty important question. I've asked that myself many times, especially being someone who likes to be in control, because a lot of feelings of not feeling safe. So when I was growing up, so I also wanted to have control over everything, force things. So I wanted to know how things are going to change. And I do get a lot of questions of people. Well, how are we going to get into this new world? How are we going to get into this another dimension? How do we do things? How do we get from what's happening now to this new energy? And they don't understand. How we're going to do that? How we're going to get there? And I fully understand that because, of course, I've been asking things in my own life, like I've mentioned. I want to take control, want to force things. I want to know how, because then I can take the steps to do that. And in some practical things, of course, it's important to understand how. But working with energies and on a spiritual level, how is not that important. And I also know from my own experience, when I let go of things, I wasn't focused on the results. I was just working with my energies on what I wanted to create, that suddenly things can just happen on a mysterious way, change things, miraculously, figure things out. And I think that is so important to realize. We're so focused on the how that in essence we're saying, because we don't understand, that we don't trust the process, and that's keeping us stuck and it's keeping us frustrated. And it's really about trusting the process. We don't need to know how. We really don't need to know how things are going to unfold. We need to trust it will unfold and focus on our own energies, working with things that need to be cleared up still, old things coming up, pains coming up. And I understand this is very difficult for a lot of people. They're still focused on the outside world. And of course, what I've experienced the past two weeks, something happened with my car. So I needed, a lot of focus on the outside world. I needed to fix things. I needed to know how to do things, obviously. But that's more of a practical things. Ultimately, it did work out. But it really, triggered me on the unsafe. And then I tried to control everything. And then things don't flow. So it's very important to trust things. Understand that you are a child of God. Connect with your intuition, connect with what feels right to you. So if things coming up, work through them, heal yourself, because then you'll be attracting different people, you'll be attracting different situations. Because I also understand people, how do I get to a better timeline? How do I get to a different timeline? And you're just going to get there by changing your energies. And that's not focusing on the outside world. It's really focusing on your inside. And that's really very, very important. A lot of people are still very focused on the outside world. I do understand that. And of course, there's nothing wrong with knowing what is going on. Although we really have to wonder what we see and read is actually going on. So always use your own discernment in that, what you read and what you, take in. But it's very important to understand that we shouldn't focus on that anymore. We shouldn't focus on the how. We need to focus on ourselves. Trust. Trust it's going to be all right. Trust that things will change. We don't know how, but it can change in a second. That's all possible if we open ourselves up to it. If we're so focused on how are we going to do this, we're keeping everything stuck in that energy. Because then we're sending out, we don't trust the process, we don't know, and nothing's going to change unless we know what is going on and how we're going to do that. We're keeping it stuck until it apparently is, clear to us. And that's not really the way to manifest things or really create this new earth and new energy, because it's a spiritual way. It's releasing, it's trusting it will work out. Focus on yourself, on your own healing. That's the most important part. And especially I've read something like a better timeline. If you want to, be in a better timeline, all the old things that you don't want to take a look at will be, you need to heal that first before you head into that new timeline. Because that's the beauty of it. If you focus on yourself, see if things need to be cleared up, healed, you know, if you need help, get help, you be open for that. But be open to heal things in yourself. We shouldn't be so focused on outside. Everything is inside ourselves. And if you do that, you don't have to be afraid of what things going on. You know, a lot of people are afraid, well, all the digital things are going to be pushed through, and then I won't be able to get a job, and I won't be able to do this, and then I'll be stuck, and I will... No, that's fear. It's completely based on fear. It's a very low frequency. And you are creating that timeline for yourself by thinking that. Like, there's no way out. Well, if you could let go of that, you know, feel through that fear that's behind it, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't be so stuck in that mode. Feel through that, because then you open things up. And maybe if things are happening around you, it will not affect you. And that's so important to understand. You are ultimately the one to decide what's going to affect you or not. And your energy is incredibly powerful. And you will create the life that is right for you. And that will fit you. And to be very honest, no matter what timeline you're ultimately in. That is the power of creating. And that's the power of being a child of God. And we need to understand that. So not be fearful of what is going on around us. Focus on ourselves. Heal ourselves. But most important, trust. Don't focus on how are we going to get there. How are things going to evolve. I need to know first before I can take steps. Because the more clear you are inside yourself, the more you heal yourself, you will start doing things from your intuition. So you'll start making decisions that fit you. You will start to draw in people that connect with you. You are way more connected with what is going on. You can maybe start an initiative, maybe talk to representatives, maybe step it up in your local politics, for instance. I do believe that the entire political system needs to change, but we don't know how that's going to change. It's even possible people like we are, people maybe watching this video are going to step up and change things. It's all possible, but we need to listen to our intuition. Connect with God inside of ourselves, understanding we are a child of God. And from there, we can truly change things. But we won't be able to do that if we're so focused on how and how it's going to happen outside of ourselves. The how is more inside of yourself. How are you going to heal yourself? Well, you can, a lot of things you can do and work through that. Focus on your energy. Trust that it is going to be all right. You are protected. You are loved. You are going to be all right. If you really feel that and are grateful for that, that is what you're going to radiate. That is what you're going to see around you in your life and most likely in your timeline. So you'll be changing your timelines just by changing your energy and your frequency of your energy. So that's really what I wanted to talk about with how. It's not the important question anymore. It's not about how. It's about trust and looking inward, not outside yourself anymore. So I hope to see you in another video. Bye.